us all to learn of you and to draw us closer to you. Father, we desire a closer walk with you. Father, we ask you to move in this church. We ask you to be a part of it in the way that you want it to be. Lord, we ask you to move in this community. Lord, we just ask that you would change the community and cause the community to be known as a righteous community. And Father, we just ask you that you would cause us all to focus our mind on you tonight. In the name of you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
Don't find
thinking about what's caused the church as we know it to get in the condition that it's in today. I think back 30, 40 years, and 50. There's a lot of different attitude with a lot of the Christian faiths. Some of it had already set in. I'm not sure what I call it today. The feeling of, I would call it a feeling of false security. It had set in with some denominations. But some of the ones that I was around felt an urgency of serving God. But one thing that the enemy's done to take away that if you occupy people's minds and give them a choice between something that feeds their carnal mind and serving God, if they're not a spiritual person, it will win out. And what religion has done is made people feel like that, hey, if I go through this formality, whatever their church teaches, if I go through this formality and join a church or whatever measure that particular religion believes, then I'm okay. And then they start justifying things that they do that keeps them out of church. And because the urgency's not there. It's like my grandson's in football and baseball, and if the coach came to you and said, you made the team, you're a stringer, you don't have to practice, we appreciate you coming and practicing, but if you got something that's more important or something you'd rather do, you don't have to do it. Probably half the team would not show up, except maybe on game day, and if they had a better offer, they may not even show up then. And I remember when I came to high school as a freshman in high school, the lack of enthusiasm was so prevalent with the high school football team that the biggest part of the time that you wouldn't have 150 people in the stands. And some nights there wasn't enough people, hardly showed up to play football. They wouldn't hardly have 11 people. And one time in particular, I think I was a sophomore, they had a game between Christmas, or between Thanksgiving. They had a game on Friday night after Thanksgiving. And, they only had 10 boys show up. Well, they didn't really want to forfeit, so the coach, who was about 40 years old, decided he would play quarterback for the high school Haymakers. And he got his leg broke. So for the next 2 or 3 months, he hobbled around. He taught math. So he hobbled around in the math class on a cast because he was goofy enough that he got out there and tried to play football. But see, what it takes, and they've realized this, it takes diligent practice. Yes. So the coaches require you to practice, and even in the off season, you work out with weights, and they build your bodies up so that it makes it easier for you to play. But the church world's taken the exact opposite view. So what happened is the church world says, okay, if you go through this formality, 15, 20 years later, that person meets an ultimate demise, and so they bring them back to the church and preach their funeral and talk about how wonderful they were. And you know, they're fine, they belong to this church. And I went to a funeral one time for a relative, and about halfway through the funeral, I told my wife, I said, I think we're at the wrong funeral. Because I know that ain't the guy that's up there in that box, because this guy was a cheat, he was a gambler, everything you could think of that he done that the church world considered sin, he did it. Yeah. But when he died, they zipped him right on into heaven. And so what I'm saying this for is the people do not really believe that they have to be consistent to be saved. So, and they got their mind fed. If you went to every person's house that's not here tonight that belongs to this church or about any other church in town that most of them don't even have church on Sunday night no more, but if they do and they got a handful of people and you went to the houses of all the people who belong to that church, you'd find that number one, their TV's on. And I'm not necessarily preaching against TV, but I think if you're not careful, they can send you to hell. Or they'll be on the computer. Not preaching against computers, but it can send you to hell. Or they'll be on Facebook. Same way. Or they'll have something going on. And I'm going to tell you what, you'll be amazed at how many church people will be at the casino. Yeah. And on a given night, church night, or payday. Mm-hmm. And they'll be at the casino because everything's okay. Yeah. See, they're a member of a church. And if I die, they're going to preach me into heaven. Well, I'm going to tell you, just because the preacher preaches you into heaven don't mean you're going to be there. Right. Now, we're going to be in Romans 5th chapter. Starting with the first verse. It says, therefore, being justified by faith, we have peace with God through our Lord Jesus Christ, by whom also we have access by faith into his grace, wherein we stand and rejoice in the hope of the glory of God. Now those two verses really says a mouthful. We're justified by faith. Justification means that, we're to be justified. A lot of people would interpret it to be saved. But what does faith in God do? You've got to believe that his blood washed away your sins. But where anybody would get the idea that just because all past sins were washed away, that it also washed away future sins beyond me. Because we have a duty. He didn't, if you're watching this on Facebook, I'm not poking at anybody, but he did not save you to sit on your laurels. No, he did. He did not save you just so you could go to heaven. Right. He saved you so that you could become a soldier, for lack of better words, for him, or a worker into the kingdom of God. Amen. So when he saved you through justified by faith, our faith in him, knowing that we have salvation gives us peace. We have the peace of God knowing that we're saved. means that we've searched the Scripture, we've sought it out, we've listened to the preacher, and we believe that we're saved and justified. We're justified, and we have a right to expect salvation of God. And number two, we also have access by faith into His grace. Now, what does the grace do? Well, the grace, it influences your heart. The grace of God begins to influence your heart. And then it manifests itself in your life. I don't know if it's hot for the rest of you, but it's hot for me. Mm-hmm. The grace of God changes us on the inside, from the inside out. Well, let me tell you something. If you're really changed from the inside out, you're going to do everything in your power to do what God would have you to do. Right. You're going to realize the importance of serving God. Now, you hear every excuse known to man. You know, why people don't attend church. Some people, as they get older, have a hard time driving at night. And I understand that. And some people got to work on Monday. Now, let me tell you how it was when I was growing up. We had a rule in our church that on Sunday night, that you tried to be out by 11 to 11:30 because people had to work on Monday morning. Now, Friday and Saturday night, go as long as you want to. Wednesday night and Sunday night, you tried to be out by 11, 11:30. If you had a revival, you tried to be out by 11, 11:30. And I dare say, if you ask people what time they go to bed, right now, most people, it will be 10:30 to midnight. Yeah. But when it comes to church time, they don't want to go because they got to work the next day. Don't make any sense. You know, it begins to make you wonder, do they really appreciate what God did for them? Verse 3, so not only so, but we glory in tribulation, also knowing that tribulation worketh patience. Now, I've heard this misquoted many times, and they say that if you want patience, just pray for tribulation, because that gives you patience. No, it don't. It works your patience that you got. Yeah. It's like if you go to make some bread, if you use yeast to make bread with, you know, and you get it all mixed up, every once in a while you got to go work it down. You get all the air out of it. And you do that several times to get it before you bake it. If you're doing it the old-fashioned way. But what tribulation does, it makes you patient. It works it a little bit. If you've been in tribulation and you've come through victorious, the next time you go into tribulation, you're not going to have near as much problem because you know you've already been through that before. You know, I always think about the old timers way back there. They went from the east to west in wagon train. They always tried to get a wagon master who had been there before. Because if you got somebody that had been there, they knew the way. And you had confidence in knowing that they could lead you through. Well, Jesus has been the way before us. He's our wagon master. He can take us through. And if we have confidence in Him, even though we might have tribulation, we might have some trials, we might have some things that really, months ago, I was fretting about some finances. You know, and I'm in sales, and end of the year is a tough time for sales, generally. And so I went into the pastor's office looking for someone to comfort me and tell me everything's going to be all right. And so I told him I'm worried, a little worried about it. And he said, okay, what I want you to do is I want you to think back 10, 15, 20 years, however far you want to go. And for every time that God's let you down, you can worry. I don't remember what he said, an hour or something. And so I sat there a little bit, and I knew he had me. Finally, I admitted it, and I said, he ain't never let me down. And he said, well, shut up and worry then. That was a good one. Yeah, I'll use that on somebody else. Not mentioning names. But that was a good one. But you know what? When it looked, the tribulation, you know, it was looking a little bit bleak. Didn't know if it was going to have a lot of Christmas or anything like that. And all of a sudden, from a source that I didn't even, I'd hoped, but I didn't really think it would happen. It came through. And all the pressure was off there. I know a person, just a few days ago, had $2,000. They went into the bank to make a deposit. They hand it to the teller. If you go sleep again, you're going to stand up. The church is over. They hand it to the teller, and the teller started counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. And the guy said, give me 800 back and count it again. Maybe it'll grow some more. You say, well, that's just not possible. Well, try this one on. Back in the Depression, this couple of pastors or preachers had been invited to a meeting. And so they really didn't have the money to get there, but they decided to go by faith. And they didn't really know how much gas they had in their car because the gas gauge didn't work. So they just took off. Well, they got about halfway there and they ran out of gas. So one of them looked at the other and said, well, what do you think we ought to do? And he said, I think we ought to pray. So they prayed. Lord, I know you told us to go to this meeting, and Lord, your will, I've checked it. So they got through praying. Well, the other one said, well, what do you want to do now? And he said, I think you ought to start this thing. Let's go to the meeting. He hit the starter, and it started, and they took off. They went to the meeting. And after the meeting, one of them decided that he would check and see how much gas was left in the tank. So he took a stick and he ran it down in the tank, that old car where it had the gas tank up there on top of the fender, or the gas cap, you could just run a stick right into it, back when it was easy steel gas. And he ran that stick down in there and pulled it out, and the tank was plumb full.
Oh, man.
Now, God can fill your tank up with gas. You know, He can provide for you where you think there's no way that it can happen. He will not let you down if you serve Him. If you serve Him with all of your heart and let His grace affect your heart. Now, if His grace is changing your heart, you're going to want to be around His people to get gassed up, like better words, when church comes. Because this is like a filling station. When you come to church and you hear someone's testimony about what God done for them, it gives you the encouragement to go on. You know, we've had enough miracles in this little old building. I was telling one of the other pastors here in town who has a big church about it, and a couple days ago, and he was saying, "Really? Really? That's wonderful." And I could tell by the look of his face that he hadn't had a lot of luck with hadn't had that experience in his church. But see, here's the thing. If we will allow God to work for us, there's nothing in the Scripture today that's any different for us than it was back then. And we've got to be so committed to Him, we're willing to give our life if we have to. Now, tribulation works patience. Now, patience, because you went through tribulation and worked your patience, now you have experience. And you can tell somebody, "Hey, I've been there and God didn't let me down." And it gives them hope. Amen. To allow the tribulation that they're in to work their patience and give them experience so they can get through the next trouble and trial. Amen. And hope makes us not ashamed. Faith is the evidence of things hoped for. And once we apply the principle to it, and it begins to work in our life, you know, my father-in-law, one of the best men I ever knew in my life. I miss him every day. Never really heard anybody talk bad about him. He had just a regular old boy, had filled up when he passed away. One of the largest churches in Broken Arrow was running over with people that came to his funeral. He was that well liked. But see, he had experience with God. And it wasn't nothing for him to be at Walmart or the grocery store and let out a whoop and a shout about Jesus. Why? Because he had experienced things and he knew what it was like. And we don't know the seed we sow today, what it's going to do down the road. I haven't verified this, but I'm almost sure it's true. There's a little Indian woman preached a revival at that church where they went back in the 50s, early 50s. And my father-in-law got saved. And the person that preached that revival was my mother. We don't know how God's going to tie things together. She preached a 6-week revival, and I guarantee you they didn't get in bed before midnight every night. And it was 3 weeks before anything happened. Then the pastor went to the altar. And when he went to the altar, he just broke loose, and they had 17 men saved. Family leaders saved during that revival. And it changed that whole church for years and years and years. There was a young man that I know, he's not young anymore, but he used to be like I did. And he went to church at a church where I went to in Coita, young kid. And when he was a baby, they held him up before the altar, and they prophesied over him. They began to pray for him. They prophesied over him that, and the word came forth that he would be a missionary. Well, he got grown and he went into drugs, left God. Hair got long. You know, he was just having him a good time. Had a little girl. And she got sick. They rushed her to the hospital, and when he got there, well, she was already in there in the emergency room, and he asked to see her, and the doctor said no. She has spinal meningitis, and it's very contagious, and we can't let anybody in. So his name was Jimmy, and Jimmy went into the toilet. He fell on his face. See, I've had that experience. And he fell on his face before God, and he said, Lord, if you'll just heal my daughter, I'll go anywhere, I'll do anything you have me to do. He got up, a broken man, went out and sat down. First thing the doctor come out, and he said, Jimmy, would you like to see your baby? He said, you mean I can see her? He said, yeah, apparently we misdiagnosed it. She don't have it. She'll be all right. You can take her home in the morning. So Jimmy, the next time church opened, he was there. And he went to the altar, and he made things right publicly before the Lord. And God began to bless him. And blessed him so good, wasn't long, they had a brand new house. And he's coming home from work one day, and the Lord spoke to him. He was praying, the Lord spoke to him. He said, Jimmy, I want you to quit your job. He said, Lord, I just got a new house. He said, well, you said you'd do whatever I told you, and I want you to quit your job. So he walked in, his wife was standing at the kitchen, cooking supper. She's happy. And he told her, he said, well, the Lord told me to quit my job today. She said, Jimmy, we just got a house payment. He said, I can't help it. You know, I promised God I would if he did, and I will. In the morning, I'll quit. So he quit his job. So he come back home, and he's sitting there, and he said, Lord, what do you want me to do? And he seen the paper there, and he picked it up, and he began to go, and the Lord directed him. And there was a place there that said, couple needed to work with boys. And the Lord said, I want you to go there. So he went and called on this place, and it was Bethesda Boys Home. And he walked in and he said, God sent me to work for you. He said, you needed someone, And he preached this revival, and I got saved. And this boy said, "That's my Grandpa Parnell." And he said, "That's exactly right." You see, God, isn't it amazing how God, he saves this, and then he sends this grandson of the man back to work with him. And then one day, the Lord said, "Jimmy, I want you to go to Honduras or Guatemala or somewhere down in there." So he went in and told that guy, and he said, "Well, I'm going to have to quit." And he said, "Why, Jimmy?" "Well, the Lord told me he wants me to go to Honduras or Guatemala, wherever that is." And this guy said, "Jimmy, didn't you know we have an orphanage there? And we've been trying our best to find somebody to go down there." "No, I didn't know it." So Jimmy had told the Lord, he said, "All I ask you, Lord, is don't let my family go hungry." So he goes down there, and his job was working. They would give him delinquent boys, and he would, their income was he would go out and find work for these boys to do, and him and the boys would do the work, and that was their income, plus whatever the churches sent him. When we had the church in Coita, we supported it. He said, "Never have been hungry." He said, "Got close time or two." He said, "One time brought the boys in, because we had to feed, I had 8 boys, plus our family. Brought them in for lunch, and my wife said, 'Jimmy, we don't have nothing in the house to feed these boys.' He said, 'Well, I got to take a walk.' He said, 'I got a little mad.' So I'm walking out through the jungle, and I said, 'Lord, you remember the deal? I said I'd come down here as long as you didn't make my family go hungry.' And he said, 'These kids are my family because they've been placed in my care.' And said, we can't work if we can't eat.' And said, the Lord said, 'Shut up, Jimmy, and look up.' And he said, I looked up, and he said, I was standing under a banana tree, and he said, the biggest bunch of bananas I ever seen in my life was right over my head. He said, 'We love bananas. We like them fried, we like them raw, we like them any way you can get them.' And he said, I got that big bunch of bananas down, went back, and we had bananas. We had fried bananas, and said everybody was happy. Another time, it came Christmas time. Said I had $8. That's all I had. And he said, I give it to my kids, and he said, go. It's about a half mile across the field. I'm showing you how God works. He doesn't have restrictions, see. He said, go across there and get whatever $8 will buy for Christmas. That's it. So they left, and it was raining. And so pretty soon they come running back in the door and said, Daddy, look what we found out there in the field. And he said, we're in Guatemala. They had a crisp, new, dry $100 bill, American, that they found out in that field. Said, I took it and looked at it, and he said, go to the store and buy whatever $108 will buy for Christmas. Said, we had a good Christmas. You see, when we have patience in the Lord, and we work experience hope, and hope maketh us not ashamed, because the love of God is shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Ghost, which is given to us. For when we were yet without strength, in due time, Christ died for the ungodly. See, He died for us. should want to tell people about the glory of God. We should want to tell people about eyes being opened. We should want to tell people about people being raised off the deathbed. We should want to tell people about how good God is to us. Amen. And how He's never let us down. Amen. He's never forsaken us. Amen. He's never, ever, ever, ever let us down. Amen. He wants good things for us. Amen. And He wants us to spread the good word of the gospel, the good news. The good news is that God so loved the world that He gave His only Son, His only begotten Son, that whosoever will could have eternal life. Amen. Whosoever. It's not limited by race, color, or creed. Right. Oh, there's church people, there's denominations that's trying to bring race back into it. They're trying to put qualifications back into it. But this covenant is forever. Amen. When Jesus died, He sewed it up completely from now on. Amen. Never to change. And He set an example to where that we could live and we could be an example for Him, and we could be a light shining for Him. And when we allow that light to shine on us, we won't never want to back up. No. We never will want to take a second seat. You know, when I was growing up, when the church door opened, we was in it. Well, see, we didn't have TV. We didn't have radio. If we wanted to hear singing, we sang. You know, if we talked to each other, if we wanted to read something, we read the Bible. You know, life was, he said, boy, it was really simple. It was boring, wasn't it? There wasn't nothing boring about it. You know, when I was 8 years old, I was going possum hunting with my friends. You know, with a coil lantern where you couldn't see but about here at that bench. And we'd get up and go hunting before church, Sunday school. He'd stay all night with me on Saturday night. We'd get up and go hunting and be back. We'd be up at daybreak, go out hunting, and be back in time to go to Sunday school. We love God, and we had relationships. We made relationships that have never went away. One of the guys that his dad pastored our church when I was about 8 years old, is one of my best friends today. You know, we were young, now we're old. David, I think it was, said, I was young and now I'm old, and I've never seen the righteous forsaken or his seed begging bread. That's a pretty good testimony. In fact, wouldn't you say that's really a good testimony? Wouldn't you say that's just an unbelievable testimony? Wouldn't it make you want to be righteous? If we'll seek out righteousness and apply righteousness to our heart, that puts us in the safe zone. But it don't put us in the set down zone, because there is no set down zone. If you can show me a place in the Scripture where a Christian ever gets to retire, I want to see it. He wants us to let our light shine. He wants us to tell people about Him. One of my think, and she was in her late 80s at the time, and you think, what can an 80-year-old woman do? And somebody was talking to him one day, and he said, I hate that old woman. And they looked at him, and he kind of grinned, and he said, do you know how hard it is to pray, to sleep, when you got an 85-year-old woman about 150 foot from you, praying with her window open, and you can't block it out for nothing, and she's praying and bombarding heaven for the lost? So I got to get up and pray with her. I'd like to sleep, but I can't do it. That's what it was like. That's what it was like back then. But you know, this woman had a lot to be thankful for, because she'd had cancer back when nobody knew what cancer was. God healed her of it. And at about 92, 93, her heart got weak. They took her to the hospital. Her son come in and said, Mama, you'll be going home in a couple of days, and they're going to give you a pacemaker. And she said, you tell me to keep their pacemaker, and I am going home, but I ain't going to Coeta. I'm going home. And he said, look, you'll be all right if you have a pacemaker. She said, I'm going home. Well, they give her a pacemaker, and they wasted her money, because she went home anyhow, because she told them one day she was going, and when that day came, she went on. That's the kind of assurance we can have, folks. We need to get excited about our salvation and get rid of all of our carnal things that's holding us back, and serve God with all of our hearts. Does anyone need prayer tonight? Does anyone need change in your life? Does anyone need to cast aside some weight and sin? Well, just in case someone's watching online and they want that, I'd like for you to stand and pray with me. Okay, we're going to pray the sinner's prayer. My version of it. So everybody, if you would, just pray with me. Father, Lord, I know you died for our sins, and I ask you to forgive me of my sins. Lord, I'd like to walk with you, and I know that if I ask, you'll do it, and I ask you to change me to be like you, and make me a new creature in you. And I just thank you, Lord. I thank you that you're making me new. Jesus, we praise you.